Cox Cable Digital Channel 216, Brunswick Area Television on Channel 24, and the internet at www.tri-c.edu/distance-learning/smart TV. The ceremony will be rebroadcast on these same channels on Thursday, December 27th, and Thursday, January 3rd at 7 p.m. And now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our student speaker for this graduation ceremony. Mr. Kyle Drachenberg is graduating tonight with his Associate of Arts degree. He has served as president of Phi Theta Kappa, our honor society, Alpha Epsilon Eta chapter at Eastern Campus, and has achieved summa cum laude recognition for achieving a 4-point GPA at Cuyahoga Community College, and he will be transferring to the University of Akron to pursue a BS degree in electrical engineering. Will you please help me welcome Mr. Kyle Drachenberg?
Good evening. It is with great thanks to the President of Tri-C, Dr. Thornton, members of the Board of Trustees, stage party, deans, faculty, and our guests that we are able to share in this momentous occasion. It is an honor to be speaking and taking part at the first mid-year commencement of Cuyahoga Community College. It was requested that I prepare a speech on behalf of all of us graduating today. A speech that will recall our memories, including the laughter, the learning, the love. You know, all the good times. And those not so good times. Like the all-night cram session, preparing for a math test that we just needed to pass. I ask that as I tell you my story, you remember the special times we all experienced, and do not ever forget the great memories we all share. A few years ago, I just lost my job after working 8 years for a debt collection company. Yes, I was once that guy you never wanted to get a call from. After several failed interviews, I felt hopeless and had no direction on where to go. I did not want to continue in the same industry, yet I had little experience elsewhere that would warrant consideration for a new position. I had to ask myself, do I want to continue on a similar path that I did not enjoy just to make ends meet? Or do I want to take a risk in something different, something I could be passionate about, something that would take dedication and sacrifice? It was late one evening when my beautiful wife Rebecca and I were at home watching TV and saw a commercial for Tri-C with the tagline, "Where Futures Begin." She mentioned I should think about going back to school. It had been nearly 10 years since high school. Plus, high school and we never got along. When there, the only awards I received were after-school detentions. So it's plain to see I did not easily accept the idea of going to college. How would I do? Will I remember anything? How much is this going to cost? How long is the degree going to take to complete? I refused to even talk about it. It was only after my wife elbowed me, nudged me, and then kicked me in the back of my pants that I finally enrolled into classes at Tri-C. That first day, when I pulled into the parking lot, I had never felt so out of place. There was this tension building in my throat. Sweat started beating up and rolling down my face, and a deep rumbling in my belly. It was not going to be good. My weak legs barely carried me to anthropology, and an hour later to urban studies. Afterwards, I said to myself, that wasn't so bad, but I had another class that day. You guessed it, math. It got hot. I felt uneasy and even a bit queasy. But somehow, someway, I made it out alive and survived that first day. The symptoms of illness that I was experiencing was relieved so promptly that it is beyond any medical explanation. The vaccine was administered when I noticed sitting in the seats to the left and to the right of me were people who were going through similar struggles that I was facing. I met people in high school doing post-secondary study, all the way up to great-grandmothers who never had an opportunity to seek a higher education. I was introduced to people who came from the far west, like Hawaii and California, to to the Far East, such as China and Japan, and everywhere in between. And together, as we struggled through piles this high of homework, studied all night until our brains nearly exploded, and laughed until our bellies hurt, our relationships were transformed from unknown faces to classmates, and now we are lifelong friends. As the final semester was ending and graduation nearing, I began to ask myself and my fellow classmates, do we make the right decision in choosing Tri-C? I pondered and thought, have we been able to make lifelong friends who came from all over the world to create a bottomless pool of ideas and concepts? Have we been exposed to an infinite amount of opportunities and given direction towards any one of those paths in life for which we had our own choosing? Did we learn how to overcome struggles and obstacles such as those feared math classes? And had I benefited from a higher education? Does our future now seem any brighter? The answer to all these questions was best said by Richard Roundtree, who played John Shaft, and said, "You're damn right." But now I ask, how? How has all this been made possible? All we have to do is look around us. So, as I close my remarks, I ask that you do not direct your applause to me, but to those individuals who helped all of us be able to graduate today. Send your cheers out to the deans, the staff, and especially to the faculty who were dedicated in making sure that we all succeeded. Clap loudly for the help that we received from our parents and our classmates. And lastly, I ask that you make noise for that special person who directed you down the right path, picked you up when you were down to keep you going, believed you would pass that math test, get to where you are now today, and where you are headed in the future. Thank you so much to my lovely wife, Rebecca. If I had a million years, I couldn't explain to you how much I love you. And happy holidays, everybody.
I think you selected the very appropriate speaker to represent each and every one of you this evening. I think Kyle certainly has come a long way, and we are so very proud of him. I think he's going to do wonderful things at the University of Akron, and you can tell he has left behind the sweat and the fear, a lot of confidence, and a lot of thought about a new beginning, and we thank him for that. I now have the privilege of introducing our keynote speaker this evening, Mr. Terry Stewart. Mr. Stewart has been the president and CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum since 1999. He earned 2 undergraduate degrees, a Bachelor of Science in Engineering and a Bachelor of Arts in Education from Rutgers University in New Jersey in 1969. Then in 1972 and 1974, he went on to earn his MBA in Finance and JD in Law at Cornell University. Mr. Stewart spent the next 15 years building a very traditional business background, mainly in banking and in finance. He then switched gears in 1989 when he joined Marvel Entertainment Group. Marvel went public in 1991, and Mr. Stewart was named the CNBC Marketing Executive of the Year. During his 9 years at Marvel, he served as President and Chief Operating Officer and later Vice Chairman. He is currently on the board of the Rhythm and Blues Foundation in Philadelphia, and he serves as an advisor for the annual Summer Stage Concert Series in Central Park in New York City. He also serves on the advisory committee for the prospective new National Museum of Hip Hop, and locally he serves on the board of the Cleveland Film Commission, Positively Cleveland, which is our Cleveland Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio, among many others. He has received numerous distinguished awards, including being elected in 2010 to the Rutgers University Hall of Fame Distinguished Alumni, and receiving an honorary doctorate of business degree